Good day. My name is Ryan, and I'm going to walk you through PartsLogic. What we'll cover here today in this particular presentation is we'll talk about what is PartsLogic and why we chose to build a new search service. We can illustrate the impact of PartsLogic that it's had on other clients and talk briefly about what is the current ideal customer profile for PartsLogic, and we'll talk about the features and actually show it in action. So with that, we will get started. First, what is PartsLogic? From a high level, PartsLogic is designed to be a suite of specialized e-commerce tools geared towards the automotive aftermarket industry. And to start with the tools, we started with search and fitment verification. And we designed these tools to be platform agnostic, meaning they can be placed on any major platform. Now, we built PartsLogic from the ground up using the latest technologies available. It is on the AWS stack, and it uses React front-end components and other technologies as well. And we built it with research, data-driven decisions, and we've taken a customer-driven development approach. Now, some of the resources that we use, we actually subscribe to the Baymard Institute, which is a UI and UX research company that boasts well over 80,000 hours of UI and UX research. And they have an entire section just about search. And so we use that as a great reference point when we are developing features or trying to solve problems. And we go and look at that Baymard to see how they go approach and solve those problems. It really helps us make sure we're developing things in a way that is proven to be effective. We also look at things like Amazon and Google. And time again, we hear from our customer base that they want websites to shop like others out there. Being that this is the automotive aftermarket space that we are mostly into, we hear, hey, I want my website to search and shop like Car ID, Real Truck, XDP, and there's probably another half a dozen others. So we actually have adopted some of the experience that we find in those particular websites as they have proven to be effective in what our clients actually want. Next, we decided that we wanted to build something that was going to have an immediate impact on our client's bottom line. And being in the business for well over 20 years, we had a good idea what that was going to be. Well, we did a little bit of independent research to find out if what we thought we knew was actually right. And what we found is supporting evidence out there that a good search is important to conversions and converting the current traffic that you have into more sales. So the highlights of this research is simply this. It's estimated that 1 in 3 users that come to your website are going to engage with the site search, meaning that they'll engage with the search bar on the website, or in PartsLogic's use, also a fitment selector, such as maybe year, make, model in the automotive industry. Now, those people that do engage with search are doing so, and I'll put this in air quotes, searching with the intent to buy. Now, you may be able to relate to this. I know I can. I know if I'm actually on Amazon on a Friday night, it's typically because I'm looking for something that I want to have on my porch on Monday or Tuesday morning. So I am actually on that website engaging with the search bar because I have the intention to buy something. Now, those people that engage with search, it's estimated that they have a 50% higher conversion rate. And it is estimated between 30 and 60% of all your online sales come from those users that visit with site search. Now, if you flip that around, 1 in 5 users that actually engage with that search are going to bounce. They're just going to leave your website. Now, they may for a multitude of reasons, maybe the product that they're looking for isn't available, but most likely it's because the search was not accurate and concise enough for them to be able to find what they're looking for. And so that search must be good, if not great, to help capture that important intent to buy with concise and accurate search results. So we've been, PartsLogic actually got its first customer in May of 2021. As of September 2022, we have officially 63 clients on the platform. And this one here is actually a client that we've been familiar with for many, many years. And they were a little bit skeptical to jump on the PartsLogic wagon. So they agreed to do a 3-month free trial and see what kind of impact it had on their bottom line. During this 3-month period, they also did not make any other changes, and they actually reduced their ad spend. So I'll illustrate as to why that detail is important. So what I'll do is I'll show you just the highlights of this case study, and you may go see this over at PartsLogic.com at any time. Before PartsLogic, we took a measurement, and we measured from October 2021 to December 2021. So that included the Thanksgiving holiday and the Christmas holiday. This client is Pace Performance. They specialize in GM aftermarket parts and engines. And what this shows here is everything in blue represents a visit with site search, meaning that the user came to the website and engaged with the search experience. And what I want you to take notice of is the pieces of the pie. So everything in blue is a visit with site search. Everything in white is a visit without site search. And what we found in this 3 months is that 1 in 4 users engage with the site or engage with the search. And those 4 users ended up being about 166 transactions. Or if you actually were trying to do a percentage of the pie here, we're looking at probably about 15-ish%, right? And you'd think revenue would be close to that as well, so another 15-ish to 20% in terms of the overall revenue. And the e-commerce conversion rate actually is 1.93, which turns out to be a little over 6 times higher than those that did not use the search. So that's typically what we see. We see 4 to 8 times higher in terms of the conversion rate comparison. So this was a nice base measurement before we put PartsLogic on the site. Then here is the after of it, and I'll kind of try to squeeze these in here together. So after PartsLogic, which we put on from January 1st through March 31st, so 3 months, the search engagement over time ended up going up about 2 percentage points. So instead of 1 in 4 in 100 users, it was 6 in 100 users that engaged with the search. And what you want to notice the difference in the pie. So PartsLogic increased engagement slightly, but it vastly increased the number of transactions. So now we're over 25%, probably creeping around 30. And then likewise, the revenue follows that as well. And we're sitting about 40% of their overall revenue was due to users that engaged with the search. And in this case, the conversion rate actually went up about 6 basis points from 1.93 to 2.58. So we engaged search sessions. We increased search sessions by almost 6,000 sessions. And with that, we also increased the conversion rate as well. So a wonderful success story, wonderful case study. If you want to learn more about that and the details, you can actually go to PartsLogic.com and you'll see a link to that case study. We've got some other measurements that we've taken. When we first started with PartsLogic, we always take a before and after comparison, and we actually had some great immediate success. We were looking at what is the 2-week impact of PartsLogic on the bottom line. And I'll talk about client A here. In those first 2 weeks, we did a before and after comparison. And those that did a visit with site search actually made an additional $4,300 in revenue. Their e-commerce conversion rate went from 1.57 to 3.11 for those that used the search bar. And it turned out that 56% of their sales came from those that used the search bar. This next client, I really like this one. This client here made an additional $8,500 in the 2 weeks before and after comparison. They had an e-commerce conversion rate very high, but they were a very niche website, so you'd expect that e-commerce conversion rate to be high. And what was interesting too is that following the Baymart Institute's recommendation, when we installed PartsLogic, we actually made an adjustment and made the search bar visible on a mobile device. It was hidden. You had to click on an icon to be able to see it. But in doing that, we increased search engagement just by 20%, just by making that search bar visible for mobile users at all times. And it turned out, again, going with the research, confirmed that 30% of their sales actually came from those users that used the search. So those are a couple of highlights. What's fun about this client B is that we actually followed them for the month, and they made an additional $23,000 in revenue in that first month. So these are just actual real numbers proving the impact that PartsLogic has had on the bottom line of customers. So talking about customers, what is our ideal customer profile? Well, PartsLogic shares a DNA with Web Shop Manager. Web Shop Manager is a company that's been around for almost 20 years as of 2022, and it specializes also in the automotive aftermarket industry, boasting about 350 plus clients, mostly in the automotive aftermarket industry. Our ideal customer profile is an automotive aftermarket retailer that is selling at least 1 million or more in revenue a year and are active on their online store and wanting to improve the experience so that they can improve their conversions and overall revenue. All these customers here, you have a PartsLogic on it, so you can actually go to any one of these websites and you can experience the search, also their fitment search, and you'll see a variation of how things are executed. Now, PartsLogic I mentioned is form agnostic. We, built it first, putting it on Web Shop Manager clients, but we've also built a BigCommerce app. It's an approved marketplace app on BigCommerce. And then we've also built the processes to put this on Miva, Shopify, Magento, and BigCommerce. In fact, as of the end of September here in 2022, we are launching our first Magento customer, and we're excited about that milestone. I told you about some of our development stack. We also have all our components documented on Storybook. Now, we've built PartsLogic with marketing in mind. It's all about merchandising tools and being able to convert the traffic that you currently have, the traffic that you have worked so hard or paid so much for to get on your website, and you want to convert that traffic. So we made several components so far that are all part of the PartsLogic library. And those include things like a suggestive search bar that is able to combine keyword and fitment. And it's one of our unique value propositions in the industry is that we can provide fitment and keyword search all in one solution. That is not easy, and it's not usually able to find it in an affordable solution. Typically, other search services, you can search by keyword or you can search by fitment, but you can't combine those two into one query without some custom development and some additional. We have the ability with a search results page with facet search. So we're able to take over the search results page of the website and provide a facet search to help users filter their results to find what they're looking for based on the applications that they need. We also got a fitment selector that we can place on any page. And we have a fitment verifier for the product detail page as well, which is a powerful tool that can be dropped down a PDP. And then we also have a admin application that where right now you can control two merchandising tools of synonyms and boosting rules. The suggestive search bar is built mobile first. Everything that we are building is built mobile first, meaning that it's meant to have a nominal impact on site performance, and it's meant to perform best in a mobile device, and it can also expand and perform well on a large device. This search bar is a full text suggestive search bar, returning suggestive results. It is very good at full and partial part number searches. So it's excellent at part numbers that have special characters like periods and hyphens and forward slashes and dashes. And it's really great at actually doing partial part numbers. So you do not have to put in all those special characters. You don't have to put in the full part number to get relevant results. We've also got a fuzzy match function that helps with the spellings and typos. And then we also have synonyms, boosting rules. And that search bar is going to return not just products, but return categories and brands as well. Let me show you what that looks like. Here we go with the search bar. That search bar does include a search bar history. And whether or not I type in the words, or maybe perhaps I pull on the history, it will return categories, brands, and products. And it does so in a visual way that includes imagery, titles, other information, SKU, pricing, and so forth. And what you see here could be styled in many different ways. We have a wonderful ability to adjust the layout, adjust what shows, what order it shows, and so forth. Now I'm showing you a search here on a correct spelling of tonneau cover. Talked about that misspelling and typo function in here, so I'm just going to kind of transpose those vowels there at the end of tonneau, and you'll see that I'm still getting results based on the word correct spelling of tonneau. Now, we have a synonym piece built into this. So if someone wants to spell tonneau cover phonetically, T-O-N-N-O, you'll see that those tonneau covers with the correct spelling at the top, those categories are still returning along with the brands. And also we do have some products that are returning as well. Now, I talked about being able to type in fitment and get results. So if I type in a 2015 Ford F-150, I'm going to get results that apply to that particular application that's on the product. Now, you notice 2015, I'll just sort of change it to 2016, and it's still going to return those because it's reading the fitment applications that are applied to those products. Now you'll notice that I've got the F-150, but most people actually forget to put in the dash or don't want to. And I can take that dash out and it still returns the results based on that. And that is also done with synonyms as well. For our automotive aftermarket customers, we actually put in a best list of synonyms, this being one of them, the F series, the GM HD series, Chevy and Chevrolet, and other things as well as a best practice to help tailor those search results based on synonyms that we know are best practice. The next thing I want to show you is the search results page. So the next component that we have is the search results page. Again, everything is designed mobile first. It's a dedicated search page that can be placed on the website. It has a compliant and shareable URL with all the user interaction, which is great for marketers. And then it has what you would expect in terms of sorting and pagination. We got fitment search to filter the results, and we got the facet search also to filter results. And we got a couple new facets that we've launched recently, such as the in-stock facet and the fitment specific facet as well. So we're going to do a page here without any search terms, so we get everything coming back. And you'll see here that we've got these filters on the side. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to show this in a mobile device. So I feel that showing it in a mobile device really helps it shine. So here I've done, you see it looks nice in mobile. And if a user were to come in here, typically they're going to come in here because they've chosen a keyword first. And we'll just execute that here in the keyword search. Now I've got 3,635 results coming back. Well, let's do this. Let's actually do our fitment. We'll go 2015. We'll go Chevy. We'll go Silverado. We'll go another bed length. And all right. And you'll see that now we're down to 130 results. Fantastic. Now, that's great, but we need to filter that even further. So let's take a look. I definitely want fitment specific only products. I'm not interested in the universal products like accessories or repair kits or hardware kits or things like that. I want to have something fitment specific. The category of product, maybe I want a hard folding tonneau cover. I like those. Those are pretty slick. And let's say, my buddy says, you know what, buddy, you got to buy a Back Industries one. So I'll do that as well. Now I'm down to 4 results. That seems pretty manageable. When I click the Done button, all that filtering has been done in the background for me. It's immediate, and I'm able to see those 4 products right here on the screen. Next component that I'm going to show you is the standalone fitment selector. So this fitment selector can be embedded on any page of the website. You can start your search journey by fitment. It's quick, it's responsive. If you've got millions of applications, it is actually very quick as we've architected it in a way that it returns that information fast, no matter, we've got one client that's got 57 million attribute assignments, and it works very, very well. We can support multiple fitment groups. That is another great feature, is that we can actually have multiple fitment groups within the same account and return results based on those particular fitments. And now what we've also got is optional qualifiers in there, and I will show you an example of what that looks like. So I'm going to take it off the mobile, and we will go back to the home page. What you'll notice here is that it does retain my fitment. So here's a 2015 Chevy Silverado. That's great, but a user can start their journey any way that they want. So we do Ford, we do the F-150 again, we do the 6.5, and I do the search. And now you'll see that the user has started their journey that way, and they can go through that same thing that we did earlier. Now, one thing that I want to show you is something that we have qualifiers. So optional qualifiers in the automotive aftermarket industry is very common, that you want to start your journey with year, make, model, and then depending on the kind of products that you're looking for, you can then select optional vehicle qualifiers to help narrow things down. If I choose, in this case, a 1964, and we'll go Ford, we'll go Mustang. You'll see that now I've got these optional qualifiers that come into play, and perhaps maybe I know that what I'm looking for depends on my transmission. I'll choose that transmission, I'd save, and I'm able to see those 7 products that apply to that Mustang and where transmission is important. So that's something that is a unique problem in the industry. It is a challenge to solve, and we are actually a solution that is affordable and easy to deploy. The next piece I'd like to show is the fitment verifier that we put on a product detail page. So for this one, I'm going to go back to our development website. I'm going to hit the change fitment. I'm going to hit clear because I've got multiple groups going on in here. And what we want to do is we'll just go to a product detail page. So the majority of users that come to a retail website will come here typically via Google Ads or Google Search or some type of search, right? And they may come onto this product detail page without pre-selecting a fitment. So if they did come here and they wanted to verify that their fitment that does actually fit a 1996 to 2003 Chevy 6-foot bed, we can verify that. So I'm going to take the year, we'll go 1998, and we will go Chevy and class 10, and then we'll go 6'1". Let's see if I got this right. Yep, and it tells me, hey, fitment is verified. Now we've actually got callbacks, so we could actually take the add to cart button, we could disable it, make sure that they verify, re-enable the add to cart button. So that's great. But let's say this person came to this this product detail page, and perhaps maybe I had a 2004, and maybe I had the Chevy, and I had the S10, and I had 4. So I was close when I landed here, but I'm now verifying it, and it says, nope, doesn't fit. But let's not end there. Let's go see products that do fit. So we can take the user back to the search results page, and we can show them products that do fit. Now, in this instance here, you'll see that we've got that fitment, and because the data pattern is consistent, I'm able to pass a facet value, in this case, soft rolling, because I was looking at a soft rolling tonneau cover. So I'm able to take that user, get them to a place where it's focused relative to the products that they are looking at. So I've shown you the available front-end components we have today. Let me show you how we can control some of those. So we actually have our admin application that the clients can log into. And here we can show you some synonyms and boosting rules. So synonyms are pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy to deploy. You just create synonyms. So for example, I've created one here for F-150, and I've created the permutations with the F-150 with and without a hyphen, lowercase and uppercase as well. Talked about that one with Chevy. Here's Chevy, and here's Chevrolet, upper and lowercase. So here's the one for bed cover, because actually a lot of people know about bed covers. They don't know there are actually tonneau covers. So this is just examples of some of the synonyms that we have. And we got some great documentation that talks more about the synonyms, and we actually provide a best practices list as well. Here's that best practices list that I was talking about earlier. And then in boosting rules is really, really great. It's a great marketing tool to help sell more products that you want to sell more of. So say, for example, the brand Tuxedo in this case, right? So Tuxedo is a brand. I want to make a boosting rule to get those products higher up in the search results. Maybe I want to sell more Tuxedo because I have better margins on it. Maybe I want to sell Tuxedo because I've got an overstock and I got to get rid of it. Maybe want to sell because they have a special rebate, manufacturer or a retailer rebate at the end of the month. So you're able to create these boosting rules. You're able to publish date from an active to until. Then you want to give it a score. It's a simple multiplication of the relevancy score in the search results. So if I had a score of 100, you give it a factor of 3, it'll now have a score of 300, hence making it higher up in the search results. And you can assign a boosting rule based on product characteristics such as products, individual products, or the brand assignment of the product, or the category assignment of the product, or you can do it by price or a price range. Now these are additive, so these are and operators. So I could say, hey, I want this brand, but only specifically maybe those that are in hard rolling, right? And I also only want to do the ones that are greater than the $5 because I know I'm going to get a better return on those. So this is a very powerful merchandising tool that allows customers to tailor the search results based on what they want to sell more of. And that is the presentation and a product walkthrough of PartsLogic. I do hope you enjoyed learning more about what PartsLogic has to offer. Thank you very much.